friends. This is Christopher Davis-Shannon, and welcome to week 3 of our study on Smeck's The Magic Ukulele Waltz. Today we're going to dig into the C section of the tune, which modulates us yet again, now into D minor. So we're going to start out on our regular old D minor triad, but we're going to take our pinky and put the octave up top on the 5th fret of our A string. If you can't reach this, if you're on a tenor, you may not be able to, and that's okay. You can just play this as a D minor 7th straight across the 5th fret, just for this first measure, and then readjust as we move on down. What we're going to do is play the A string independently for the first 2 eighth notes. I like to use my thumb and my first finger. So we keep the motion very small here, and then we have 2 strums. And then we're just going to move the pinky down 1/2 step to the 4th fret, giving us a C sharp or a D minor major 7th, and do the same exact thing. And we're moving down 1 more half step to a D minor 7th. You'll note that this is really identical to what we did over a G minor chord in the B section of the tune. We're reiterating this little theme. So we're going to pluck again. But on beat 3 here, we're going to pluck that C one more time on the A string, and then slide down to a B, giving us a D minor 6th chord. So it will sound a little bit something like this for the first 4 measures. Now we're going to move on to a B flat 6th chord here, much like in the B section. Smeck originally played a standard B flat triad here, but I just feel like playing a B flat 6th, and this is my arrangement, so that's what we'll do. We're going to pluck on beat 1 just the A string, again with our thumb, and then strum through twice. And we're going to pluck the E string, which is an F, our first finger's covering this. Strum again, and then you're going to take your ring finger, and you're going to play the G on the 3rd fret of your E string and immediately slide it on up to a G sharp. Like this. So let's listen to those first 2 measures over the B flat 6th to see what's happening. And we're going to hit an A string. You hear that just naturally leads our ear up to an open A. And as you're hitting this open A string in the next measure, we're going to put down our A 7th chord, strum twice, and then hit the E string again. This is really a very similar pattern to what we just did over top of the B flat 6th. So let's listen to this next 4 measures of the tune. Now let's try those first 8 measures of the C section together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the first ending of the C section, we're going to take this D minor that we played before, but we're now going to make it a D major, so you can just bar straight across the 2nd fret, put your pinky up top on the 5th fret on that D, and we're going to do exactly what we did rhythmically. We're going to pluck the A string twice, strum through. We're going to repeat this right hand pattern, but we're going to put down our Hawaiian D 7th chord now and do the same thing. And now we're going to do the same thing, but over top of a C diminished 7th chord. 2, 3, 2, 3. And then we're going to play a B flat 6th measure, and this is the same as what we did in the previous 4 bars. We're going to pluck the A string and then strum twice. So let's listen to those first 4 measures of the first ending of the C section. Now we're going to stay on this B flat 6th chord here, but we're going to pluck the E string, much as we did previously, and then strum through twice, instead of leading us up to that A this time. You'll see why in a moment. So we're going to play F, which is on our E string, 2 strums, open G, 1 strum, now the G sharp on the 4th fret of our E string. And you can hear that leads us up to our A 7th chord, right? But what we're going to do here is we're going to hit the A 7th chord and immediately stop the sound. So let's listen to just these first 2 measures and the first beat of the 3rd measure of this line. Now what happens? Now we're going to do a little individual note lick. We're going to start on the A string. We'll go A, put the first finger down on B flat, go back to the A, back to the B flat, back to the A one more time, and then we're going to play our open G. You can also play the 3rd fret of your E string here if you would like. So let's listen to just those first few notes of this. And then we're going to go F on the 1st fret, and this is a quarter note now, or 1 full beat, and then open E, just like this. So let's listen to this last 4 measures of the first ending of the C section. All right, and let's try that much together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to repeat back to the beginning of the C section. That's going to give us our little descending D minor lick. Like this, we're going to play that again to our B flat 6th and then to our A. Same exact thing that we did before, but we're going to hop to the second ending now. And you remember in the first ending, we went to a D major. We're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to change up the rhythm a little bit. We're going to put down the same D chord, but we're going to play a triplet on this, an 8th note triplet. So I'll link down below to a lesson on playing triplets. You can treat this in a few different ways. I'm going to use the thumb roll triple here, which is down with the index finger, down with the thumb, and up with the first finger. And we have one extra down strum on beat 2 and let that ring out for 2 beats. Then we're going to do the same thing over our Hawaiian D7th. And now we're going right to our C diminished 7th, just 3 strums. And then our B flat lick that we've been doing, hit the A string first, giving us a B flat, and then strum through twice. But this time it's going to lead us right to an A7th. But let's listen first to these first 4 measures of the second ending. It's going to sound like this. Now we're going to hit that A and rest much as we did before, but we're going to have a slightly longer descending lick here. So we're going to start out exactly the same. The first 6 notes of this are identical to what we did. A, B flat, A, B flat, A, G, and then F, E, but repeat it this time. Land on the D on the 2nd fret of our C string, down to a C sharp on the 1st fret, back to the D, back to the C sharp, and we're going to hit an open C, and then at the very end we're going to play a C augmented chord, like this. So let's listen to just that little lick independently. I'm going to play it nice and slow so we can follow along with this. So now let's try the entire second ending of this together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if we look ahead in the sheet music to this tune, it comes back and plays the same exact B section that preceded the C section with one slight change. At the very end of this, instead of going to our A7th chord as we did before, we're going to use a G augmented chord, which is telling us that we're going back to the main theme. We're finally modulating back to the key of C to get to the final section of this tune. So now let's try the C and the final B sections together. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. Join me next week for the final A section of this tune. And if you have not already, please do consider joining my Patreon community where we already have the entire tabs and lesson series up for this whole song. I'll see y'all next week.